Evening, everybody. I see here. Talk about a couple things real quickly. Gentleman by the name of Ray Epps, instrumental on January 6th. He was the one seen on camera, both on January 5th and on January 6th, trying to stir the crowd into going up and entering the Capitol building. Now, he is an instigator, and he got probation. Makes no sense to me. Then again, there were 2 busloads that were discharged, all males, all fit military age individuals, and the buses were painted white and there were no markings on them whatsoever. Reports are that these were undercover DOJ personnel trying to stir the crowd up to create the so-called insurrection, which never occurred. So you got that going on. Then you got the Capitol police officer who recently did an interview. He's a lieutenant now, I guess. When he was talking about having to shoot an unarmed female that was trespassing, who was surrounded on both sides by Capitol police officers. And he says that she was a threat to the Capitol. An unarmed female trespassing is a threat to the Capitol when she is surrounded on 3 sides by Capitol police officers. I don't believe that story whatsoever. And add, more misery to it. The same officer that shot the young lady got a promotion. About a year later, that's how he became a lieutenant, because of his actions on January 6th. So we got that going on. We have explosions happening around the country at the present time. You had the recent explosion down in Fort Worth. You had another one that occurred, I believe it was in Houston, Texas. So this begs the question of Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas claiming that the border is secure, yet 9 million illegals came across within the time frame that Biden's been in office. They had over 100 on the terror watch list that were caught. I don't know the exact numbers, but it was more than 100 that were caught. But the question is, how many were not caught? Think about it. You come here to this country illegally. They give you a cell phone. They give you spending money. They give you transportation to anywhere you want in the United States. You're not required to have a photo ID. You're not required to have the number of required shots just to enter a school. They are placing the needs of the American citizens last, and they are promoting the needs of the illegal immigrants. I don't even want to call them immigrants. They're illegal aliens, An immigrant is somebody that comes into a country legally, and he's trying to better himself, and he's doing it according to the rules. If you come here illegally, I wouldn't honor you with the term migrant, immigrant. More like criminal would be a better word. So you're an illegal criminal coming into the United States. Or you could just say an invader. That applies too. So these guys are in the United States. Now we've had a couple of cities that have had explosions. We've had murders at the hands of these animals that have come across. We've had rapes. We've had physical attacks. We have human trafficking. We have drugs being smuggled in. All thanks to Joseph Biden. Now, is there anything that we can do about it? Yes. You can make sure that he is voted out of office this coming November, because the sanctity of the United States, the honor of our ancestors that were born and raised in this country are at stake. Now, I don't care if you come here legally as an immigrant. My wife's an immigrant. Okay, so more power to you coming here legally. But I don't have respect for you coming here illegally. These people are basically being invited in by the Democrats because, let's face it, they're voters. They're going to allow them to get ID cards and allow them to vote in local elections. Once you vote in a local election, you establish a precedent, and then all of a sudden you're voting in state and federal elections. It shouldn't be that way. We need voter ID cards that are not, tamper-proof voter ID cards to ensure that only citizens are allowed to vote in this country. Now, will that happen? Probably not in my lifetime. We're the only country on the planet that doesn't have them. I mean, in my wife's country, when you vote, you actually have to stick your index finger into a jar of ink and you place your ballot. They verify your ID card and you put your fingerprint on the ballot to ensure that that was you that voted. And they can always pull that back up and check you later. So, I don't know what's going on in this country. These people, that want it don't know how to get it to the people that need it. You have the Democrats that are spewing that it's voter suppression if you have an ID card. But you need an ID card to buy beer, whiskey, cigarettes. You need an ID card just to go and apply for a driver's license. You need a photo ID to get into a hospital. You need a photo ID to get into any federal building or even state building. You need a photo ID to go and sit in a courtroom. You need a voter ID or a photo ID to cash a paycheck. So what is so hard about a voter ID? Simple. Because it takes away the vote from the illegals that are not supposed to be voting. And that means it narrows the field down for those that are running for office. There are too many illegals voting. And the Democrat Party supports this. Republicans are always catching flack because they are too nice. And they're not nice. They're a bunch of wimps. If they acted more like the Democrats when it came to certain things, I think a lot more would get done in this country and we would be less in debt. Speaking of debt, why the hell are we borrowing money from other countries to turn around and give it away to, like, Ukraine? I don't know if it was up to me to offer advice to Donald Trump if he's currently running, and when he gets reelected into the office, my advice would be to stop everything. No more payments to other countries. Focus on the United States just for 2 years. I mean, we're not talking forever, but we got to get our own house in order before we could start helping others. I mean, we're spending billions of dollars in Ukraine to protect their national sovereignty. We're spending money to help Israel maintain its national sovereignty. But our president doesn't care about our own national sovereignty. Why? He's an old guy. He's going to kick the bucket soon. He doesn't care. It's all about me today. And that's it. That seems to be the attitude of a lot of the politicians. So what I advise everybody is pay attention to what's going on. Focus on what the candidates are saying that are running. Vote from your heart. No, vote from your head. People say, oh, you vote from your heart. I'm going to vote party line. No, don't be a moron and vote party line. You vote for the candidate that is best going to help the country, period. I voted for Bill Clinton because the Republican candidate sucked. I voted for Barack Obama for the same exact reason. You vote for who is best going to serve the country at that time. And it sure as hell ain't Biden. ICY out.